Hello, seniors. If you're over 60 and you eat peanut butter regularly, you may be doing something surprisingly helpful for your body, but there's also a side of peanut butter that many older adults completely overlook. The difference can come down to one simple detail: what kind you buy and how much you eat. For some people, peanut butter can be an easy way to add protein, healthy fats, calories, and important nutrients to the diet. But for others, the same spoonful can quietly add a significant amount of calories, sodium, or added sugar. And as we get older, those details can matter more than they did decades ago. So what actually happens when you eat peanut butter every day after 60? Does it support your muscles? Can it help you stay satisfied between meals? What about your heart, brain, blood sugar, and weight? And there is one particular benefit that becomes especially interesting when we talk about aging and muscle loss. Imagine your body as a house that needs constant maintenance. Your muscles, bones, nerves, heart, and brain all need raw materials to keep working properly. Food provides those materials, but after 60, your body may not respond to protein as efficiently as it once did. That is one reason protein becomes increasingly important as we age. Peanut butter contains protein, although it should not be considered a complete protein source by itself. A typical serving can contribute several grams of protein along with unsaturated fats. That combination can make peanut butter more filling than many sugary spreads or refined snack foods, and this matters if you are trying to protect your independence. Think about something as ordinary as getting out of a chair, walking across a parking lot, carrying groceries into the house, climbing a few stairs. These movements depend heavily on maintaining muscle strength and function. Eating peanut butter cannot guarantee stronger muscles, and it certainly cannot stop age-related muscle loss by itself. But including nutritious protein-containing foods as part of an overall balanced diet can help you meet your protein needs. Here's where many people make a mistake. They hear that peanut butter contains protein and assume that eating more of it automatically means building more muscle. That is not how the body works. Your muscles need enough protein, but they also need physical activity, particularly resistance exercise when appropriate, and enough overall nutrition. Your body needs to use those nutrients in the right environment. So a spoonful of peanut butter on its own is not a muscle-building miracle, but paired with the right foods, it can become a useful part of a senior-friendly meal. For example, peanut butter spread on whole grain toast provides protein and fat, along with carbohydrates and fiber. Adding it to oatmeal can make breakfast more satisfying. Mixing a small amount into plain yogurt can create a nutrient-dense snack. And if you are someone who struggles to eat enough because your appetite has decreased with age, a calorie-dense food such as peanut butter can sometimes be useful. But now we need to talk about the heart. Peanuts and peanut butter contain mostly unsaturated fats, including monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats. These are generally considered healthier types of fat than saturated fats when they replace foods high in saturated fat. This does not mean peanut butter cleans your arteries or prevents a heart attack. It means that, within an overall healthy eating pattern, choosing foods rich in unsaturated fats can be one way to improve the quality of your diet. And that distinction is important. Your cardiovascular health is influenced by many factors: blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, physical activity, smoking, sleep, body weight, genetics, and many others. No single food can control all of them. Still, dietary patterns matter. Research on nuts and peanuts has generally found associations between regular nut consumption and better cardiovascular outcomes. Scientists believe several factors may contribute, including unsaturated fats, fiber, plant compounds, minerals, and other nutrients. But peanut butter is not identical to whole peanuts. This is another detail worth remembering. Processing can change the food, and commercial peanut butter products can contain added sugar, salt, and other ingredients. That is why the label matters. If you have two jars sitting next to each other at the grocery store, they may look almost identical, but nutritionally, they can be quite different. Look for peanut butter where peanuts are the main ingredient. If possible, choose a version without large amounts of added sugar and with a sodium level that fits your dietary needs. And if you have been told to limit sodium because of a medical condition, pay particular attention to the nutrition label. Now let's move to something many adults over 60 care deeply about: blood sugar. Peanut butter is relatively low in carbohydrates compared with many sweet spreads and snack foods. Its protein and fat can also make a meal or snack more satisfying. That does not mean peanut butter lowers blood sugar or treats diabetes. It means that replacing a highly sugary snack with a modest portion of peanut butter may produce a very different nutritional combination. For someone watching carbohydrate intake, this can be useful, but there is a trap. Some peanut butter products contain added sugars, and serving sizes can be surprisingly small. A serving is commonly measured as about 2 tablespoons. It is very easy to turn that into 4 tablespoons without realizing it, and that brings us to one of the biggest misunderstandings about eating peanut butter every day after 60. Healthy food can still provide a lot of calories. Peanut butter is energy dense. That means a relatively small amount contains a substantial number of calories. If you are underweight or struggling to maintain your weight, this may be useful, but if you are trying to lose excess body fat, eating large spoonfuls every day can work against your goal. The problem isn't that peanut butter is bad. The problem is that portion size matters. This is one of those lessons that becomes increasingly important with age. Your energy requirements may decrease as activity levels change, while your need for many nutrients remains high. You therefore want foods that provide useful nutrition without unintentionally pushing your calorie intake far beyond what your body needs. That is why I would rather see you think about peanut butter as a nutrient-dense ingredient, not as an unlimited health food. Now there is another fascinating area, your brain. Peanuts provide nutrients such as vitamin E, niacin, magnesium, and other compounds that participate in normal cellular function. Vitamin E, for example, acts as an antioxidant, while magnesium is involved in hundreds of biochemical processes throughout the body. But we need to be very careful here. Eating peanut butter does not prevent dementia, reverse memory loss, or guarantee better cognitive function. There is no single food that can make those promises responsibly. What we can say is that adequate nutrition supports normal brain and body function, and dietary patterns rich in minimally processed plant foods, healthy fats, whole grains, and other nutrient-rich foods are associated with better overall health. So instead of asking, can peanut butter prevent memory problems? A better question is, can peanut butter fit into a dietary pattern that supports healthy aging? The answer for many people is yes. And the same principle applies to your nerves and muscles. Your nervous system depends on nutrients to transmit signals properly. Your muscles depend on minerals, protein, energy, and nerve communication to contract normally. When you stand up, thousands of tiny biological processes happen almost instantly. Your brain sends a signal, your nerves carry it, your muscles respond, your joints stabilize your body, your cardiovascular system adjusts blood flow. No single spoonful of peanut butter controls that system. But your overall nutritional status helps provide the raw materials your body needs to perform those functions. And there is another reason peanut butter can be useful for older adults: convenience. Sometimes healthy eating fails, not because people don't know what to eat, but because the food isn't convenient. You may not want to cook another meal, you may be traveling, you may have a busy afternoon, you may need something quick after walking or exercising. A small serving of peanut butter with fruit, whole grain bread, or another nutritious food can be much easier than preparing an elaborate snack. That convenience can help people maintain more consistent eating habits. But before you make peanut butter a daily habit, there is an important warning. If you have a peanut allergy, peanut butter is obviously not appropriate. If you have difficulty swallowing, sticky foods such as thick peanut butter may present a choking concern for some individuals. Depending on your swallowing ability, texture modifications may be safer. And if you have kidney disease or another condition requiring specific dietary restrictions, your protein, potassium, phosphorus, or overall nutrition needs may be different. This is one reason I don't recommend copying someone else's diet simply because it worked for them. Your body is not exactly the same as your neighbor's. Your medications may be different. Your kidney function may be different. Your activity level may be different. Your nutritional needs may be different. Now let's talk about something that surprises many people: hunger. Because peanut butter contains protein and fat, it may help make a snack more satisfying than a snack consisting primarily of refined carbohydrates. That can be particularly useful if you find yourself hungry again shortly after eating. For example, an apple alone is nutritious, but an apple paired with a modest amount of peanut butter provides a combination of carbohydrates, fiber, protein, and fat. That combination can make the snack feel more substantial. And when you're trying to maintain a healthy weight, feeling satisfied can be important. You are less likely to feel like you need to keep searching the kitchen for another snack 10 minutes later. But again, portion size matters. 1 tablespoon and several large spoonfuls are not nutritionally equivalent. This is why I encourage you to measure your portion occasionally. You don't necessarily need to weigh every bite of food for the rest of your life. But measuring a serving once can be an eye-opening experience. Many people discover that what they thought was 1 serving is actually 2 or 3. Now let's discuss the type of peanut butter. Some products contain just peanuts and perhaps a little salt. Others contain added sugar, oils, and other ingredients. Neither label automatically tells you whether the food is healthy or unhealthy for you. But the simpler ingredient list often makes it easier to understand what you are actually eating. Natural peanut butter may separate, with oil rising to the top. That is normal. You simply need to stir it. But don't assume that a product labeled natural automatically means you can eat unlimited amounts. The calories still count, and this is especially important if your goal is weight control. There is also a question of crunchy versus smooth. Nutritionally, the difference is usually not dramatic when the ingredients are otherwise similar. Your choice should come down largely to preference and your ability to chew and swallow safely. For some older adults with dental problems or swallowing difficulties, smooth peanut butter may be easier, but even smooth peanut butter can be thick and sticky. You can thin it by mixing it into oatmeal or yogurt if that fits your dietary needs. Now let's look at another possible benefit: helping older adults maintain adequate energy intake. As people age, appetite can change. Taste and smell may become less intense. Some medications can affect appetite. Dental problems can make certain foods harder to eat. This can sometimes lead to unintentionally eating too little. When that happens, calorie-dense foods that also provide nutrients can have a role. Peanut butter provides energy, protein, and several micronutrients in a small volume of food. That can be useful, but if you are losing weight without trying, don't simply cover the problem with peanut butter. Unintentional weight loss deserves attention. A changing appetite, unexplained weight loss, persistent fatigue, difficulty swallowing, or a major change in your eating habits should be discussed with a healthcare professional. Sometimes the issue is simple, sometimes it isn't. And this is exactly why nutrition should be part of a bigger health picture. Now imagine 2 breakfasts. The first is a sweet pastry and a sugary drink. The second is oatmeal topped with berries and a modest spoonful of peanut butter. These meals are not identical in nutritional composition. The second can provide more protein, healthy fats, fiber, and micronutrients, depending on the exact ingredients and portions. That doesn't mean the first breakfast is dangerous or that the second guarantees perfect health. It simply illustrates an important principle. Healthy aging is usually about improving the pattern, not finding one magic food. And peanut butter can fit into that pattern. There is also something worth discussing about muscle protein. As you get older, simply eating protein is not the whole story. Your muscles respond to protein, but resistance exercise provides another important signal telling the body to maintain and build muscle tissue. That means a senior-friendly routine might involve nutritious meals combined with appropriate physical activity. If you're medically cleared for exercise, simple movements such as chair stands, resistance band exercises, or supervised strength training may be more relevant to maintaining muscle function than adding another spoonful of peanut butter. Food supplies the building materials. Movement provides an important stimulus. Your body needs both. And if you have significant weakness, balance problems, pain, or a history of falls, don't suddenly begin strenuous exercise on your own. Ask a healthcare professional or qualified physical therapist what is appropriate for you. Now let's come back to the original question. What happens if you eat peanut butter every day after 60? You may get a convenient source of protein, unsaturated fat, and several nutrients. You may find that meals and snacks feel more satisfying. It may help you add nutritious calories if maintaining weight is a challenge. And as part of a balanced dietary pattern, it can be a reasonable alternative to some less nutritious spreads and snack foods. But you may also consume more calories than you realize. You may get more sodium or added sugar than you intended. And if peanut butter replaces foods you also need, such as vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, fish, or other protein sources, then eating it every day doesn't necessarily make your diet better. Variety still matters. Your body needs many different nutrients, and no single food provides everything. There is one more mistake I want you to avoid. Don't assume that because something is marketed as healthy, it is automatically healthy for your particular situation. Food companies can use words such as natural, protein-rich, low-carb, or wholesome on packaging. Your job is to turn the package around and read the nutrition facts and ingredient list. That small habit can make a surprisingly big difference. Look at the serving size. Look at added sugars. Look at sodium. Look at calories. And consider what you are eating with the peanut butter. A spoonful eaten with berries and whole grain toast is a very different meal from several spoonfuls eaten directly from the jar while watching television. The food hasn't changed. The context has. And that is one of the most important lessons in nutrition after 60. Now, if you enjoy peanut butter, you don't need to be afraid of it. For many adults, a modest portion can fit comfortably into a healthy diet. But don't force yourself to eat it simply because you've heard that it is a superfood. If you dislike it, there are plenty of other ways to obtain protein, healthy fats, fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Foods such as beans, lentils, fish, eggs, yogurt, nuts, seeds, whole grains, vegetables, and fruits can all contribute to a nutritious eating pattern. The goal isn't to find one perfect food. The goal is to build a pattern of eating that helps you remain strong, energetic, and independent. And if you are over 60, independence may be one of the most important health outcomes you can protect. Being able to walk to the mailbox, stand from a chair, carry your groceries, play with your grandchildren, travel, garden, go out to dinner. These ordinary activities are the real reason nutrition matters. It isn't simply about numbers on a nutrition label. It's about supporting the body that allows you to live your life. So if you enjoy peanut butter, consider making it part of a balanced meal rather than treating it like medicine. Choose a product with an ingredient list that fits your needs. Keep your portions reasonable. Pair it with nutrient-rich foods. And make sure your overall diet includes enough protein and a wide variety of plant foods. If you're trying to lose weight, pay particular attention to portion size because peanut butter is calorie dense. If you're trying to gain weight or maintain weight because your appetite has fallen, its calorie density may be useful, but unexplained weight loss should still be evaluated. If you have diabetes, kidney disease, swallowing difficulties, multiple medications, or other chronic conditions, discuss your individual dietary needs with your healthcare professional. And please remember, more is not always better. A larger serving does not automatically produce a larger health benefit. Sometimes the healthiest decision is simply the appropriate amount. If you currently eat peanut butter every day, I'd like to know something. How old are you, and what do you usually eat your peanut butter with? Toast, oatmeal, fruit, or something else? Your answer may help other viewers discover practical ideas that work in real life. And if you're noticing increasing weakness, difficulty climbing stairs, trouble getting out of a chair, frequent falls, or unexplained fatigue, don't simply assume it's just aging. Aging changes the body, but significant changes in strength or function deserve attention. Sometimes nutrition is part of the answer. Sometimes exercise is. Sometimes medication, sleep, hydration, or another underlying issue needs to be considered. The important thing is not to ignore the change. So here's the bottom line. Peanut butter can be a nutritious and convenient food for many adults over 60. It provides protein, mostly unsaturated fat, and several useful nutrients. It may help make meals more satisfying and can fit into a heart-conscious, balanced eating pattern. But it is not a miracle food. It cannot reverse aging, cure disease, or guarantee stronger muscles or a healthier brain. The real benefit comes from how peanut butter fits into everything else you do. A nutritious diet, adequate protein, regular movement, strength-building activity when appropriate, good sleep, hydration, regular medical care, and paying attention when your body changes. After 60, the goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. Small, sensible choices repeated over months and years can become much more meaningful than any single dramatic health trick. And if a simple food like peanut butter helps you create a more balanced, satisfying meal, then it may have a useful place at your table. Take care of your body, pay attention to changes, and don't underestimate the power of ordinary habits. If this video helped you understand peanut butter in a more realistic way, leave your age and tell me whether you eat it regularly. And if there's another everyday food you'd like to know about after 60, share it in the comments. Your question could become the next topic we investigate together.